don't know if you remember, it was an app that it was called, the first app I think that existed, it was ICQ. ICQ was the innovation in Messenger. Like, it was the first thing that existed. I think it's kind of the WhatsApp of today. And then one day I opened my ICQ and I got a message saying, "Shalom, I found you randomly. I'm traveling to South America and I wanted to ask you if you can give me some tips." And I was like, okay. To make the story short, that's my husband for the past 22 years, and he was in Edmonton.
Wow, that's fantastic.
So it was no Tinder. Nothing like that, and people thought that I was completely crazy. He's a traveler. He loves to travel since so this guy is quite a story by himself. He was born in Turkey, in Istanbul. He's the last generation of Jewish people who spoke the old Spanish. I woke up one day and I said, we were texting and we couldn't even talk. That's the truth. We didn't see each other. No, we didn't see. There was no
this
camera.
Was all ICQ. Right.
I said, either we meet or either we don't meet. So he said, to be honest with you, now it's starting the season of like the strong season for me. It was the winter season, Christmas time, driving taxi. It was like the time.
Right.
He said, I cannot come. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome. I said, okay, I'm coming. I cannot come. So if you want to come, you're more than welcome. I said, okay, I'm coming. And next week I show up.
No. What was the meeting like? I mean, this is a love story. It could be a movie.
I have a book. I wrote a book.
What's it called?
It's called Say Yes, Ask Questions Later.
Ask Questions Later. It's on Amazon?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
We'll put it in the YouTube. Say Yes, Ask Questions Later.
That's my life philosophy. So I said yes. He said, come. I said yes.
What a great philosophy.
And, then you ask lots of questions and then you decide.
I'm going to give Mariana just a moment for her voice and all, because she's been talking wonderfully and telling her story. But what she just said is reminding me of things. I try to encourage people that are willing and interested to listen when they want to be inspired with a little bit of truth. And the little bit of truth is this: you can be shy, you can be an introvert, but you cannot expect things good to happen in your life if you don't make some kind of effort. I think I've lived very similar to what Marianne is saying. Often I didn't know how to do what somebody asked me to do for them, in business especially. But I said, okay. And then I learned as quickly as I could, and I usually figured out there was a way to do it, because not much of what we do in life is rocket scientist. So if it sounds good or interesting, life is short, why not just say yes and then ask the questions later? I like it. Do you like it? You can leave a comment in the space below that maybe will help somebody else get off their butt and say yes. Just think, she found love and much more. Now, let's finish the story, okay?
We sit I won't tell you the best story because it's in the book, but he looked at me and he's like, you're nothing like you told me, because I but I won't tell you. I can tell you the only thing that I sent my worst picture. Because that's my under promise, over deliver.
Okay.
Always.
So you were much more beautiful than what he was expecting.
He was like, you didn't tell me. No, I wasn't. No. I wasn't.
To him, I think so.
I think it was, yes. So, he sit in the car and he very gently and politely holds my hand and kissed my hand. For me, that was a moment of like, I already fall in love with this guy, because he was so kind and so respectful, and that's part of his Turkish culture. Turkish culture is based on respect, totally, and that's the relationship we have. Absolutely based on
You've
respect.
been happy for the most part, other than here and there things you had to figure out because of cultural differences and so forth. All these years, and have you worked together? What's occupied your time? Because I hear you having philosophies or beliefs or a value system that is loaded with many points that are helpful, especially
when the channels are open, the magic happens, and I love what is happening there. We have spaces for millennials, spaces for like people who are retired and they come and share. And you see how they start to listen with attention and with intention the other side of the coin. First of all, was very humbling to be an immigrant.
Okay.
I needed to start from zero.
Okay.
When you are new to a country, you need to forget who you were before.
Okay.
And I started being a nanny.
Okay.
For triplets.
Okay.
During 2 years, I begged somebody to hire me in a retail store. So after that, the day that after 2 years working in that store, they offered me to be the store manager, I shake the hand and I say, thank you so much for the opportunity. If you think I can manage your store, it means I can manage my own. I quit. Ready? And I started to sell these small pieces of jewelry because I noticed that everybody was commenting on my jewelry.
From Uruguay?
From everywhere.
Anywhere.
Argentina, Uruguay,
Latin
you know. Yes,
flavor.
very
Okay.
Latin, very big pieces. So that was the first thing that I did is I went online. Again, very early stages of online. People weren't buying online. And I ordered, I think, $500 worth of jewelry from Los Angeles.
Okay.
I got it, I put it on a trunk, nice trunk, on the lunchroom at this store,
Okay.
and with the prices. And when I came from work,
Also.
it was gone. So I thought, she looked at me very like fast, and she said to me, can I buy it?
Yours. I want
And
yours.
my husband, I said to my husband in Hebrew, is this normal in Canada? That people want to buy a scarf from your neck? And very fast, she offered me $80. Imagine, I was making $5.25 an hour, and she offered me $80. I said, of course. I took the scarf out and I sold. So that evening, we were chatting in the table, and I was telling my husband that I was trying to find this scarf. I couldn't find the scarf. My daughter, she was 10. She's like, Mom, why don't you start sewing these scarves?
Oh.
I said, you know me, I don't know how to sew even a button because, you know, I don't know how to do that. She said, I know. I look at her and I said,
How do you know?
how do you know? She's like, when I am at dance and you come late all the time, like a good Latina, you know, she said, the ladies are sewing, they're the costumes. And I watched the ladies, so they saw me interested. They taught me how to do hems, how to do like holes for the buttons. I can teach you. When am I gonna use this? You never know. Everything comes after.
Yes.
Comes in place when you never believe that it's gonna
Just
help.
say yes. Ask questions later.
Yes.
Because something good is happening later.
Consistent.
And it's okay to start over.
Of course, many times. You know, I try many things that they didn't work. But the things that they work, I keep improving and making. I want to become a consultant. So I said, give me your phone number. I'm very busy. I'll call you right back. I hung up the phone. I phoned a friend, Canadian. Said, what does it mean, consultant?
I love it.
She said, she wants you to be the Tupperware of like scarves and these. I'll help you to build it. I said, okay. So I phoned her. I said, okay, let's meet next week. So I started a multi-level marketing company with the scarves. I went to China, bring my own line, created my own line, had women selling all over the country.
Scarves?
Scarves, jewelry.
Okay.
And then it turned to be, and this was the tagline, everything that doesn't have a size.
Everything that doesn't have a size.
Because it fits every woman.
It fits every woman. What was the brand? What was the name? Or is it
Princess Florence.
Princess Florence, still in existence?
Unfortunately, no.
No more.
No.
It had its day, and then the season passed.
Well, you know what happened?
What happened?
We grew it like
Too fast.
incredibly. No, it was amazing. We grew that, and then we had like pop-up stores. We had 5 pop-up stores going around everywhere. We had parties in the store, parties in houses. It was like
Nuts.
And I have an online store. I had a Shopify store that was selling. We will go out of like every corner of Alberta. We've been there. It was in the peak of the wave, and then a couple approached us and said, we want to buy you. So first of all, I didn't want to sell because in the way I realized that I wasn't selling scarves. I was selling self-esteem to women. Incredible. We did like things. We were part of the community. I was giving talks now for entrepreneurs, for immigrants, for women who had a disease, cancer, because they need to take their life after a crisis and reinvent themselves.
Reinvent themselves.
Yes. With what they have.
Yes.
Or, like, focus, and he was like, Alberta is going down. This was 2015.
Okay.
He's like, it's an opportunity. You started this with $500. They're offering you a number that you don't need to work for life.
Did your husband have business sense?
So my husband is the best. So this is a beautiful question that you asked me. My husband, as a taxi driver, he taught himself finances during his driving.
Sure.
So he will listen all the talk shows about finances. So he's the best investor ever in the world. So I said, you're right. So we sold the company.
Do something with your time.
Yes.
Is that
Yes,
true?
absolutely true.
Oh,
Yes.
and you mentioned Clubhouse. So where did you go from then till now?
So I wasn't ready for
Retirement.
done. You know, for me, retirement is not done. For me, retirement is having fun.
Yeah.
And you never retire for something you love. So I love being with people. I love like helping, learning, teaching, all that. So first we went nomads for 4 years.
Nomads. 4 years.
Yes.
Fabulous.
And everywhere we went, I went on Meetup. I found people. I connect with people in every city I was. I have friends all over the world.
Nice.
And share experiences. It was beautiful. And after that, we settled down here in Vancouver because we have a daughter who was studying here. And one of the investment was, thank God, a property in Vancouver back in the day when it was affordable.
Sure.
And that allowed us to, you know, have a place where to One of the things that I did right away when the pandemic came, contacted UBC.
Okay.
And I offer volunteer work. They took me for the program entrepreneurship at UBC.
Oh.
So I've been there for 1 year full time, like every day. I met these students that they're the best. Share experience, share knowledge. I taught them like tools, how to use like online tools, and until today I created a community of more than 2,000 people.
So this is your focus, UBC 1 year, entrepreneurship, mentoring, teaching, a clubhouse for Spanish-speaking entrepreneurs and people that want to get into some business.
Yes.
And in your free time?
I'm a grandmother, I'm a wife, and we continue to travel now that it's possible. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 month of traveling, 1 month of teaching, 1 month of traveling, 1 month of teaching. So that we just
Mimi Dope. Thank you, Mimi, for once again introducing us to each other. Now, I think, from my side anyway, we'll be friends the rest of our life with another good person that loves the world as much as I do. All of the beautiful cultures around the world which help make our life. Closing in Spanish. Anything you'd like that somebody listening, it's their preferred language and it'll make them feel good.
hablar no cocina el arroz. Así que levántense y hagan. Which means talk doesn't cook rice. So get off your butt and start doing. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariana.
No,
it was
thank you
really
very
a
much.
pleasure to spend this time together. And I think after we edit this and put these up, we're going to want to, in the near future, do another one. Maybe after her next trip to Turkey. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Bye-bye.